friends. This video is for our kindergarten and first grade team for October week 3. All month long, we are focusing on the virtue of grit, refusing to give up even when life gets hard. And our memory verse for this month says, "Let us not become tired of doing good, for at the right time we will gather a crop if we don't give up." Galatians 6:9. So the first 2 weeks of this month, our story focused on Joseph and how his crazy journey to Egypt, and we ended last week by his whole family moving to Egypt. He had saved his whole family, and now we are fast forwarding a few generations to Exodus chapter 2. Joseph's family, God's people, were growing in number. Pharaoh enslaved them because there were so many of them now and made life miserable for them. And that's where Moses comes in. Moses was born when Pharaoh went even further and commanded that all the Israelite baby boys should be killed. Moses' mother and sister probably weren't too sure that putting Moses in a basket in the Nile River would keep him safe, but they were determined to keep Moses alive. They chose not to give up. God rescued Moses through the Pharaoh's daughter, who ended up bringing Moses into the palace as her son and raising him as an Egyptian. So, this week our bottom line is hold on even when you don't know what to do. One of the biggest lessons we learned from Moses' mom and sister is that they never gave up trusting in God. They weren't sure how their circumstances would work out, but they believed that God would keep Moses safe. They held on to hope, and God came through for them with a major rescue. And God can do the same for us. God can meet us in our confusion and give us the grit we need to push through. So the rest of the month, actually, we will be learning about Moses and adding on to our timeline. We have Moses is born with his mother putting him into a basket. So this week, jumping into our leader guide, we'd love for you to join us at 8:20 and 10:20 in the garage door room for coffee and donuts and prayer. I know 8:20 is super early when you're serving at 9, but it is just such a great way to start off a Sunday morning. It does an awesome job of getting my mind right for serving, and it's just really great to be praying for the people that I'm serving alongside of. So got a little note for you, then just make sure that you are to your small group area by 8:30 and 10:30. When kids start to check in, they can play with toys, or their coloring page for this week is Moses' mom and sister putting him in a basket in the Nile River. When service starts at 9 and 11, if you'd like to, you can do a little Simon Says opener. So actually this week we're giving kids, they haven't come in yet, or I would show you, they're little pop-it bracelets. They're really fun. You're not going to have them put them on yet. They're just going to begin, but they're going to hold the bracelets, and you're going to play Simon Says. So Simon Says, put your bracelet above your head, put your bracelet behind you, put your bracelet to the right, hold your bracelet in your hand, put your bracelet on top of your foot, whatever you want to do. Then, when kids get the hang of it, you're going to tell them to do the opposite of what you say. So if you say, put your bracelet up, they're going to put their bracelet down. If you say, put your bracelet out, they're going to pull their bracelet in. So, and then you're going to kind of let that go. You're going to start slowly at first, but then once they get the hang of it, kind of pick it up and let it get a little bit messy. And you'll close down by saying something like, whew, that got really messy at the end, didn't it? Sometimes life gets messy too. And that happens in our Bible story today. So let's go to large group and learn more. And you might want to collect those pop-it bracelets before you go to large group. They are actually going to use those later. So then you'll head over to large group at 10 after. When you get back, as kids are eating their snack, you can practice, you can pray with them and practice their memory verse. So you're going to gather them up and brainstorm ways they could follow Jesus, love God, or love others. And you're going to write this idea on a big piece of paper that I've got on your cart. So for example, they could learn their memory verse, read their Bible, listen to Joy FM, pray, go in nature and think about how cool God is, make a card for somebody, tell their parents thank you, be kind to their friends and siblings. They might come up with lots of other stuff. And then you're just going to close down in a prayer, asking God to help us hold on even when we don't know what to do. So you can just follow that little guide if you'd like to. Then you're going to practice their memory verse. You're going to show them how to look up Galatians 6:9 in their Bible, finding the book of Galatians in the table of contents, and then the big 6:9, the big 6 and the little 9. And you can practice with the motions a few times. And then you're going to have kids put their pop-it bracelets on. And they are going to actually pop down a dot on their bracelet for every 2 words in the verse. So there are 10 dots on their bracelet, and there's actually 20 words in the verse. So they'll say, so they'll push down a dot and say, let us, and then another one, not become tired of doing good at the right time. Oh, Lovey says, hi. Hi, Lovey. You want your passy while I'm making a video? Sorry. Baby break. There you go. Okay. And so they'll practice their memory verse using their little pop-it bracelet. And you can close this down by saying, Paul encourages us in this verse to not grow tired of doing good. And that means doing good even when we don't see why we should do it, or even if it would be easier to do the wrong thing. So how can you remind yourself to choose the right thing even when you don't know what to do? And have kids talk about it and say, you guys, they can practice their memory verse using their bracelets during this week, and it can hopefully remind them to hold on even when they don't know what to do. And in the final little closing activity, they are going to play bingo. I've got some bingo covers, but I also ordered a bunch of little Tootsies. Oh, hey. I ordered some little Tootsie Roll, like the Fruities, that they can use as bingo covers as well. So what you're going to do is the kids are going to reach in and they're going to pull out one of these pictures, and you're going to talk about in the picture what is happening, and you're going to encourage the group to think of ways that they can hold on even when they don't know what to do. So they see mom crying. What can they do to love her and to hold on even when they don't know what to do? Could they ask mom to pray for her? They lost their dog. They're moving. They broke a friend's toy. Their parents are fighting. Somebody's sick or got hurt. They see somebody in an argument. They're scared of a storm at night. They're feeling left out on the playground. Talk about on all these things, how could they love God, love others, or do what Jesus would want them to do? And then as they pull them out, they can cover their boards for bingo. Keep playing until everybody gets bingo. And then you can just close down by saying, so when you aren't sure what to do next, you can ask God for help. God loves you more than you can imagine, and he is always with you. And then maybe try to give kids a personal story about a time when you held on, even when you didn't know what to do next. And then just tell them, okay, guys, we're going to look for ways to follow Jesus, love God, and love others this week in our lives. So that's it, guys. Lovely sis. Thank you so much for serving. We are so grateful for all of you guys. Thank you for being small group leaders and serving our kids every week. We'll see you guys on Sunday.